Welcome to IFC's Chapter Connection and Conversation series, where I talk with one of Texas Christian University's 13 interfraternity chapters to learn a little bit more about them and our IFC community. My name is Fred Bosshart, and I'm the Interfraternity Council VP of Recruitment. Joining me today is Phi Gamma Delta, represented by their two recruitment chairs, Andrew Deggs and Jared Lemke. So guys, can you please tell me a little more about yourselves, such as your hometown, your major, your year in school, and why you picked to go to TCU?
Alrighty, so yeah, my name is Andrew Deggs. I'm from Tomball, Texas, which is just kind of outside the greater Houston area. I'm a junior biology major at the pre-health program. And why I picked TCU is because I really wanted something that was strong in my academic field, but at the same time, I wanted to go to a smaller school. But we had that Big 12 Division I athletics. That was really important to me because I wanted that somewhat state school experience where we could all have a lot of people coming together, supporting the football team, lots of campus spirit. Those things were all like real high up on my list as far as where I wanted to go. And also just a note, if you guys see us, we also go by FIJI. So it's Phi Gamma Delta or FIJI. So if you see either of those names, that's us.
All right. So yeah, I'm Jared Lemke. I'm going to be a sophomore pre-business major from Long Beach, California. Similar to Andrew is the reasons why I picked TCU. I kind of wanted that small/middle school student body. Obviously, I was attracted to the D1 sports with the football and basketball teams, and TCU just had a great amount of school spirit and great academics. And it was ultimately, once I visited the campus and saw the community in action, I knew this is the place I wanted to be.
Awesome. Well, can y'all tell me a little bit more why you picked your chapter?
Sure. So the way I kind of came to FIJI is I met kind of my friends, and they ended up being my pledge brothers, which is pretty cool, at Frog Camp. And we ended up kind of rushing together, just kind of checking out all the different spots. And we ended up at FIJI because we felt like we had a place where we could excel academically. Like they had a lot of people who knew what they were doing in school and like wanted to do a good job there, but also knew how to have a good time. That was a really important balance for me. And so the three of us ended up accepting our bids on the same day, and it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, so for me, the reason I decided to go with FIJI, one of my good friends from back home that I grew up with, he accepted his bid before I did. I didn't go to any FIJI events yet, and once I went, just talking to all the guys, I really believe that we had a lot of things in common, and the chapter as a whole had the balance of like enjoying your college life as well as focusing on academics. And they also had a good amount of people involved in different areas around the school with like the business fraternity and then Neely Fellows and all that. So that was really attracting to me, as well as we all have a big like participation in intramurals, which is something that I really wanted to do.
Awesome. Well, can y'all tell me a fun or interesting fact about yourselves and about your chapter?
So about the chapter, one of the things that I like to highlight is we really put an emphasis on brotherhood. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on, is having, like, I can honestly say this is kind of one of the things that I have had a good time and or a good relationship with every single person in the chapter. And that's something I did a lot my freshman year, kind of building those relationships. And now I feel like I'm in a place where I have 115 like really solid people that I can come forward anytime. We also do a lot of really cool brotherhood events that I think is really fun. Like last fall, we went paintballing as a group, and they kind of it was like a really cool, like almost like a COD thing where they drop you in at different spots and you go fight other people. And we ended up doing like underclassmen versus upperclassmen. And it was really good, just kind of brotherhood bonding experience. Because one of our mottos is not for college days alone. So you have your friends here, but you also have them for life. And that's something that we really pride ourselves on.
Yeah, I mean, biggest thing I think that really separates us is our brotherhood aspect. And my year of guys coming in, I have never, like, even with my buddies back home that I've grown up with my entire life, in that first year, I feel like I've got to be closer with everyone that was in my pledge class, as well as all the older guys as well. Everyone's just very welcoming, and it's a great opportunity to hang out with guys. You're invited to upperclassmen's house just for barbecues on a weekly basis. We all play football together, like at parks, go fishing, play basketball. It's really just one big happy family that really, I think, separates us from other people.
Awesome. Well, what is one piece of advice that y'all have for the potential new members going through the recruitment process?
For me, I would say two things. I'd say one, pick a group and you guys go around as a group. I feel like it just makes it a lot less stressful because if you have friends, because you show up to these rush events, you don't really know anyone. You don't know the rush chairs. You don't know any of the other potential new members. So like it could get really confusing and you don't really know what you're doing. So if you go with the group, it at least gives you like a starting point for conversation. Because if you guys are talking to each other, then it's way easier to go like talk to someone else or bring someone in. And then the second thing would be to visit every single chapter at least once. I think there's a lot of value in that because your fit is really what's important. Like, because, you always have a few people in every pledge class who join a chapter that they don't really belong in just from a fit standpoint, and it always kind of sticks out. Like, you really want to make sure you find people that you can get along with and people that you want to, like, you see yourself being around for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whenever you're with a group of people at all the rush events, it definitely makes things a lot easier. And I would say make sure to go to every single fraternity at least once. And I would say a big thing that you start to see is some kids feel a bit nervous to go up to, just a group of three older guys and they're talking and in their own conversation. Just don't be afraid to just go and be like, hey guys, like, my name's Jared. Sorry to interrupt. So like, would love to talk to you guys, learn about the chapter. I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of guys, if you're not with the group, you're afraid to go up and kind of put yourself out there. And a big thing I would say is go what best fits you, not what your closest friends at the time are going to. Because you've been with these people for about 2 weeks. And even if you're in different fraternities, you're still going to hang out at school in the dorms. So go to the place that best fits you rather than following where your friends go.
Well, a little bit of a change of pace here. Where is the best on-campus study spot?
So that one for me has got to be in the communications building. If you go after like 4 o'clock, pretty much all the classrooms are empty, but they're all still unlocked. So you can go in there and there's a big one that has whiteboards on all 3 walls and you can use the projector. So it's a good spot for like group studying stuff. I usually go in there and cram because as long as you show up before the doors lock, you can stay basically until 2 in the morning.
Yeah, for me, I'm just a big proponent of the library, getting in there, and if you need it, if you're an isolation type of person, get a study room, book them. I think that's the best place, even if you just need to get things done, and because you can sit with your friends and you're talking and might not being as productive as you need to be. There's in the library, you can find a corner that's pretty much always empty. Just kind of sit by yourself and just get in there and out and do what you need to get done.
Awesome. Well, where's the best place on campus to grab food?
Depends. If you're balling on a budget, the McDonald's is walking distance. But my favorite food, I guess, probably Wing Wednesday. So every Wednesday, Buffalo Bros has like wings that are not really worth paying for on any other day except Wednesday because it's $5 for 10 wings. And that kind of ends up being a pretty cool tradition because I got a couple friends, like we go every Wednesday, even if we don't have the same class or anything, we kind of just show up. That's how we kind of stay in touch.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you can go to Buff Bros every Wednesday. I would say we have about like 15 guys in the chapter. We go every night at about 10 o'clock. That's really, I think, the most fun thing to do off campus. I think on campus, either the sandwiches in the library or the pasta bar second semester was a nice change up. So I would say those few places.
Yeah, Liv sandwiches are undefeated.
Well, what has been your favorite program or event hosted by your chapter?
So for me, and I feel kind of bad because Jared, you didn't get to do this one because of Corona, but it's got to be Islander, my freshman year. So it's our biggest kind of spring mixer. You go out, we rent out like a huge bar downtown with a pool, and it's basically just like a big like darty pool party type of deal through the school. Like last year, we ended up having major laser for it. Everyone got a couple, like 2 or 3 dates to bring. It was just killer.
I would say mine, obviously, was looking forward to Islander. They didn't get to do that one, though. I would say the first event of the year, it was our academy. It was a really fun mixer at one of the bars on West 7th Street. We had Cherub playing, which is the artist of Doses and Mimosas. So that was like a really cool thing to witness. And just, I think just being like your first big event in college and you're all dressed up in the theme. You're with all your friends, and you're just having a good time. I think Academy was probably my favorite.
Now, in what ways do you think your fraternity has helped you in your undergraduate experience?
So the biggest one for me, because I'm in like the pre-health program thing, the biggest thing for me is that I had people who had taken the classes that I needed to take, and this is true for all of them, the year before. So it's super easy to go text in the group chat like, hey, what's the best teacher for this class, or like, do I take this guy? I mean, but you just a lot of advice. They can tell you kind of how the testing usually is, and just kind of questions that'll kind of prepare you to take the class a little bit better. And then if any point you have questions, like I have a guy in the PC above me who I ask questions like once a week because he's going through all that application process. And that's something that I think is really valuable, is just having older people who are willing to help you.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing is when you are scheduling for classes, the ability to just be able to ask everyone that was like, because there's so many guys that went in pre-business, what teachers to take, what are the best classes. And I think a big thing too is all the guys, like if you ever need help in a subject, I remember we had like it was like intro to econ, like just normal class, and a few guys were struggling, and one of the seniors who's a economics major was like, hey, like let's meet in the library, I'll tutor you guys, and everyone's just willing to help each other to get the job done.
Awesome. Well, what are some areas of TCU that you're involved in outside of your fraternity?
So I do a couple of things. I work on-campus jobs are super valuable because you basically sit at a desk and study for $8 an hour. It's perfect. But I also am started as part of Student Foundation, so I help with admissions. I give campus tours, and then like I basically help like incoming freshmen kind of decide whether they should go TCU or go somewhere else or something like that. So I kind of help out the admissions department a lot in my free time.
So for me, I'm a part of Delta Sigma Pi, which is the business fraternity at TCU. Heading into next year, I'm going to be the social chair for that. So that's like the main thing I'm involved in off campus. And then moving forward, I want to start being a tour guide on campus and showing everyone around, telling them why TCU is the best place to be, and just kind of get more involved with the incoming freshman classes.
Yeah, I was supposed to do frog camp this summer, but I don't know if those are happening or not. So we'll see.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you, FIJI, for speaking with me. All of your social media handles we listed in the description below, and best of luck to y'all in recruitment. To all of our potential new members, do not forget to register for IFC recruitment via the link listed below. Registration opens June 1st and cost is $80 in the month of June. If anyone has questions, please email us at tcuifcvprecruitment@gmail.com and check out our Instagram at TCU_IFC and our website, greeks.tcu.edu for the most up-to-date information about IFC recruitment. Take care and stay safe.